Welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, I mean always, he means always, they mean always, you mean always, she means always, an instant classic.
Danny Dunn! Hi, Jake.
We will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Juggernaut Retro Reviews. And this is episode number 29 of Juggernaut Retro Reviews. And I'm continuing doing my the Great American Bash reviews for WWE at least. And, I already reviewed 2004 and I already reviewed 2005, which those pay-per-views were not that good. And this show, it really wasn't much better because I'll tell you what. Like when WWE, got the rights to the name of the Great American Bash, yeah, I just don't know, like they don't really have a good track record with this pay-per-view. And I don't recommend to like anybody going back and watching these Great American Bash shows. The only reason why I'm watching them is so I can, at least review them on the show, review them on my channel. But yeah, I don't recommend really checking out these shows very much. But yeah, I'm going to be reviewing the Great American Bash from 2006. This show was held on July 23rd, 2006 at the Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. So, where the Indiana Hoosiers play and stuff. And this is the third installment of the WWE's version of the Great American Bash. This was kind of a little bit better than the 2005 installment, but it wasn't much better than that. And I doubt these buy rates were very high for this show because there was a lot of matches on the show that got replaced, like 3 matches that got replaced on the show because of like similar issues, which I'll talk about that in a minute here. But before we get started with this review, go follow me on all my social media platforms. Go follow me on Twitter at TheTrueJSB, and then go follow me on Instagram, TheTrueJSB. Also, if this is your first time ever checking out my channel, please hit that subscribe button. That will really help me out a lot. Go share, my channel with other wrestling fans, Just, I want to get my channel out there more and stuff. So, share my channel out there. And also, go subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. The only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant classic. And all my links will be down below in the description. So, now let's go ahead and get started with this Great American Bash review. So, the show opens up with a tag team title, WWE Tag Team Championship match. We got Brian Kendrick and Paul London, they're the WWE Tag Team Champions, going up against the Pitbulls, Jamie Noble, and Kid Kash. Which, I don't remember much of Kid Kash in WWE. Like, I remember more of him in, I remember more of him in TNA, like in the late 2010 stuff, like 2011 and all that. I remember him in TNA, but I don't remember him in WWE. And maybe because I was, very young at this point. But this match was a pretty good opener. I feel like that Brian Kendrick and Paul London, they could have been like a bigger deal and stuff. They won, the SmackDown Tag Team, the WWE Tag Team titles. They won World Tag Team Championships over on the Raw side. So they have done, quite a bit of stuff as Tag Team Champions. But it's like, once they split apart, I feel like Paul London, he could have been a bigger thing, but, he got released like in 2008. And of course, Brian Kendrick would become the Brian Kendrick. And really his career didn't go much farther, he won some U.S. titles and stuff but really, I thought Paul London could have been a bigger star than what he was. Of course, like I said, he was released in somewhere around 2008. But about this match, I thought this match was an alright opener, pretty good way to kick off the show. Very kind of like the X division a little bit, with TNA. you had some very small working guys here. Very fast paced action. All these guys worked well together. I never really understood why they called Jamie Noble and Kid Kash the Pitbulls, because they're kind of smaller guys. Like they don't look like, maybe call them like the Chihuahuas or something. I don't know, because like they don't, like I said, they don't look very they're not very big. Like if it was two big guys, yes, you can call them like the Pitbulls and stuff, but I just never understood why they call them the Pitbulls. But the winners of this match were Brian Kendrick and Paul London. It was an alright match. Nothing really crazy. I mean, good way to kick off the show though. And then the next match we had was the United States Championship match. Finlay, okay, he was supposed to defend the title against Bobby Lashley, but this is kind of where like the card got changed a little bit. So he was supposed to defend the title against Bobby Lashley, but apparently, so it was the Great Khali and Bobby Lashley. They were originally scheduled on the show, but they got taken out of their matches due to like elevated enzymes, which I don't exactly know what that means. I'm not a doctor or anything, and I can't. I'm not a doctor or anything. I don't know much about I know a little bit about anatomy, but like I said, maybe it could have been like steroid use or something. Failing a drug test or something like that. I don't exactly know. Yeah, so Tay Long comes out and says, Bobby Lashley won't be competing, and the fans are pretty upset and stuff. And then Finlay and William Regal come out, and Finlay is going like, yeah, I'm all right with that. And he's saying, hey, Tay Long, raise my hand, as the champion. He is kind of pretty good promo, raise my hand that I won by a forfeit and stuff. And Tay Long goes like, hey, listen, player, you're gonna defend your title against William Regal. You're good buddy here. They were both heels and stuff. And this didn't make like William Regal turn babyface or like Finlay turn babyface or anything. Like they were still good friends after this match. Still part of that heel faction with Booker T. Like I think they were called the King's Court, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so they still did that. So they were still pretty good friends after this match. But the fans, they did not like this match at all. They were like, boring between William Regal and Finlay. Yeah, they did not like this match at all. Because, nobody really was invested in Finlay. And no one was invested with William Regal at this time. Of course, two heels. Everyone wanted to see Bobby Lashley, but they were saying, we want Lashley. They were chanting that and stuff. And of course, these guys were doing like a lot of heel tactics with each other. But the wrestling wasn't bad in this match. This really did nothing for any storyline advances and stuff. It was just a good like replacement here. And of course, we kind of had some interference like with Hornswoggle, but they weren't really calling him Hornswoggle. They were calling him like the little bastard or something like that. The commentary was like McCool and JBL. But not William Regal, but Finlay did end up retaining the United States Championship. Like when he hit Regal with William Regal's boot. Yeah, so the match wasn't bad. It's very hard hitting type of style of match. But like I said, at this time, people didn't really like seeing two heels go at it, and it was, back at this time, people didn't really want to see two heels fight each other and stuff. It was really unusual to see that happen. But yeah, Finlay would retain his championship. And then the next match we had was Gregory Helms versus Matt Hardy. And this was, and Gregory Helms was the Cruiserweight champion at this time. Which the title was not on the line here. Which, it's kind of unfortunate, Matt Hardy, because a year prior to this, in 2005, Matt Hardy had that awesome rivalry with Edge, and of course Lita was involved and stuff, which it was, real rivalry and stuff, real storyline and all that. And then now he's in jobbing out. Well, not really jobbing out, but losing to Gregory Helms here. No disrespect to Gregory Helms, he's a good competitor. But I feel like they really fumbled the ball with this with Matt Hardy when he came over to SmackDown and stuff. I mean, yeah, he did win the United States Championships and stuff, but I feel like he could have been a good world champion over on the SmackDown side. Could have been a pretty good world champion over here. Because like I said, in 2005 he had that amazing rivalry with Edge, which was great in 2005. But I mean, this match here though, it wasn't bad with Gregory Helms and Matt Hardy. These guys have really good chemistry in the ring. They're good friends in the ring and outside the ring. So that's good. They knew each other's moves quite a bit. And I'm pretty sure Gregory Helms was kind of like a heel right now. And I think this match here, it was originally supposed to be Gregory Helms and Super Crazy, but Super Crazy, I think he had like elevated enzymes also. But because I was like reading some stuff about this on Wikipedia and stuff. Yeah, so apparently he got taken out of the match. And, Matt Hardy. And, yeah, Matt Hardy would be the replacement. And replacement for the entirety of the feud here. Like I said, they would continue to have good matches, but I don't know. They just kind of really, kind of dropped the ball with Matt Hardy on SmackDown. Which is, unfortunate. I mean, he did win tag team championships and stuff, but like, I feel like he could have been a bigger star here. He could have won the world championship. But I mean, he did win the ECW championship in 2009, but 2008 or something. Yeah, 2008. But like ECW championship, that really doesn't mean anything for WWE. But yeah, Gregory Helms did end up getting the victory by cheating by like a roll up, like grabbing the tights of Matt Hardy, and that was that match. And then the next match we had was a Punjabi Prison match. So originally it was supposed to be the Undertaker versus the Great Khali, and this is the third match that got replaced here. So, and the Great Khali, he kind of like had high elevated enzymes as well, like, so I probably something like with the drug policy or whatever, enhancement drugs, which they didn't really I mean, the commentary tried to explain, but they didn't say, oh yeah, he has also high elevated enzymes. They didn't really want to go off that same thing because they wanted to protect the Great Khali and stuff. So the Great Khali, he was backstage. And he wanted to already start a brawl with the Undertaker. So they found each other, Undertaker and Greg Khali. They found each other backstage, and then Big Show shows up and he attacks the Undertaker, and Big Show and the Khali, they start attacking Taker, and then Tay Long shows up and says, "Hey, since you attacked the Undertaker, you're gonna be in the match instead of Greg Khali." Which, I kind of like how, the commentary tried to explain it and stuff. Why Big Show was getting replaced, because he's attacked Great Khali. Yeah, so it was a Punjabi Prison match. Yeah, so we had The Undertaker versus Big Show. Which, they only had 3 Punjabi Prison. I'm pretty sure it was only 3, because they had one here, and they had one a year prior, and then they had one in 2017 with Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton, which I never really been a big fan of the Punjabi Prison match. Like, it's just really stupid rules and stuff, and maybe another reason why, I'm kind of happy they didn't have Great Khali in this match, because maybe they didn't really want to have Great Khali lose to Undertaker. At the same time, they didn't want to have Undertaker, they didn't want to have Undertaker lose also. Like, so, or no, they didn't want to have Great Khali lose to Taker, so it was good that they had Big Show instead in here, because, but then again, this match was not that good. Big Show and Undertaker, I never really liked their matches and stuff. It was like very slow and all that. And the rules about Punjabi Prison match, if you guys never seen one, So they got these these two like cages of the like bamboo or whatever they are. So you had these like two cages, and then like the cage around the ring. You had these like four doors, and when one wrestler wanted the door open, it would be open for 60 seconds. And then once the 60 seconds ran out, they can't use that door anymore. So once they use all four of those doors, so all 60 seconds, for each door runs out, they can't go out those doors. So they have to go over the top. So they were brawling inside the ring and stuff. Eventually, Undertaker, he got out and stuff. And so the Big Show, they were brawling on the outside of the ring. Before to get out to the main cage and stuff. And then eventually Undertaker, he got thrown back in, and Big Show was, trying to hurry out of the Punjabi prison. And then also you had Undertaker trying to climb out of that first one, and he climbed out with ease. This match was just very weird and stuff. So yeah, he climbed out. Undertaker climbed out of the cage. And then he climbed over to the second one, with ease, to the other cage. And also, I didn't really like the ending of this match. When so you had Taker and Big Show, they were brawling and stuff, and Undertaker, he does a crossbody off of the first cage and then they. Big Show and Taker, they fall into the other cage and break the door open, or break the cage open, which it was very weird. I didn't know if that was actually supposed to happen or if they planned that to happen, but yeah, so that cage was open and Big Show and Undertaker were down, and then once Undertaker got up, they announced that he was the winner. And then Greg Khali came out and he tried climbing the cage, and yeah, this was a mess of a match. I'm happy that they only really did these matches 3 times, because I was not a fan of the Punjabi Prison match. I mean, the structure is cool, but the roles in this match are just they're very cartoonish, and I wasn't a big fan of this. This not a very good match here. I wasn't a fan of it. And then the next match we had was a Fatal 4-Way Bra and Panties match. Ashley Massaro, Jillian Hall, Kristal Marshall, and Michelle McCool. And, the year prior, I can't talk right now, the year prior to this, they had a Bra and Panties match, which I kind of enjoyed that one a little more better, because, a little better because it had Candice Michelle, who did it have in the year prior? It had Michelle. Let me just check really quick. Yeah, so the year prior they had Candice Michelle, and Tori Wilson was a part of that, and then Melina was a part of that. But like I said, I mean, this stuff right now, this was before wrestling, women's wrestling actually mattered and stuff. And yeah, it's cool, to see girls get their clothes stripped off. But this, and of course, this wasn't the ad to there and stuff anymore. Yeah, it's just, it really wasn't that entertaining and stuff. And it's Michael Cole, he was trying to call wrestling moves during this match, and JBL always going "Shut up, Michael!" He was saying, it's just better. These girls are really hot and stuff, and JBL was sounding very bad on commentary and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's cool seeing girls get their clothes ripped off, but like I said, I want to actually see, women wrestle and stuff, show their actual talent instead of them just, getting their clothes ripped off. So, and I think this was the last, because they did it at 2004, 2005, and then now 06, which I don't think they did it at 07. I hope not. Yeah, but this was not very good. I mean, Ashley Massaro won the match. I mean, and then Ashley Massaro and Jillian Hall, they, after the match, they stripped off each other's clothes and stuff, send the fans, happy and stuff, keep the fans happy here. Just like the year prior, you had Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle, them stripping off their clothes. Yeah, I'm not a really big fan of these, Playboy bunny fights or, whatever they are, these brown panties matches. Wasn't a fan of this. Like I said, this was before women's wrestling mattered. They actually took the women seriously. But yeah, the next match we had was Mr. Kennedy versus Batista. And this was actually a decent match. This was better than a lot of stuff we saw on the show. But not by much, though. I mean, we saw... I think this is Batista come back from injury or something. Because, he injured, his bicep or something like that. I might be wrong here. Yeah, but we had Batista, Batista and Mr. Kennedy brawling a lot during this match. I mean, we even saw Mr. Kennedy, he get busted open, from the steel steps in this match. He was bleeding pretty good in this match. I don't know if he bladed before the match or if this was actually him, get bleeding the hard way. But, yeah, he was bleeding pretty good. But, yeah, Batista was feeling like a heel in this match because, he was ramming Mr. Kennedy into the ring post a lot during this match. And, Mr. Kennedy won the match by disqualification. And, I think it was a year prior, we had Batista and JBL. And, JBL won by disqualification. And then when you have the heel on commentary, you have JBL as the heel on commentary trying to be the voice of reason here. Trying to, tell some things here. That's kind of very sad stuff, when you have, because the commentary's going oh, why is Batista acting this way and all that. He was kind of acting like the heel here, it was very odd. And of course, Mr. Kennedy busted open a lot. It was not a very good match, in my opinion. I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but I don't like matches that end by DQ and stuff. I hate that. And then after the match, Batista hit a whole bunch of more spine busters on Mr. Kennedy and then hit a Batista bomb and left Mr. Kennedy laid out in the middle of the ring, all, with his crimson mask all over Kennedy's face. Yeah. Like I said, it felt like Batista was the heel in this match. With the way he was looking. But yeah, then the next match we had was the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. We had Rey Mysterio defend the World Heavyweight Championship against King Booker. And Queen Charmel was in the corner of King Booker here. Or Booker T, if you guys don't know. I thought this was a pretty decent match, which the pay-per-view prior to this, of course, Booker T, that's where he won the King of the Ring and all that. He was doing this whole heel gimmick, which I kind of enjoyed this gimmick a little bit. The King Booker gimmick. It wasn't too bad and stuff here. And then he won a battle royal. I think it was on a SmackDown. He won the battle royal, and then to face Rey Mysterio at Great American Bash. This match was pretty good here and stuff. Of course, I kind of knew the results to this. I knew that Chavo was going to get involved, but I tell you, if I was watching this as a kid and stuff, watching it live, I probably would have never expected Chavo to turn on Rey Mysterio. Because, they were good buddies and stuff. They were trying to, they were talking about Eddie Guerrero and all that. R.I.P. Eddie. Doing it for Eddie and stuff. Which I did not, didn't really expect Chavo to, kind of get involved and turn on Rey Mysterio. Because he came out, because, it's kind of cool with all this controversy that was happening in this match. You saw the ref get taken out. And... Chavo came out with a steel chair. And it looks like he was going to clock Booker T with it, or King Booker with it. But instead, he just wails Rey Mysterio with it. And Rey Mysterio, he, takes a bad steel chair shot to the head, which I'm happy that they don't do steel chair shots to the head anymore. They actually put their hands up and stuff. Because back in the day, when wrestlers don't put their hands up, oh, man. Man, oh man, it looked bad. That steel chair shot he took. And then Booker T pinned him for the 1-2-3 to become the new world champion. Which, Booker T, he didn't, have a bad title reign here on SmackDown stuff. I kind of liked the whole King Booker gimmick. It was pretty good. But like I said, if I was watching this live back in 2006, I would have never expected Chavo Guerrero to turn on Rey Mysterio. And then, even after this, they didn't really do much with Chavo. Like, I mean, it's not like he was ever going to become world champion and stuff, but, like, they could have did some better stuff with him. Like, I don't know. But, yeah, that was the Great American Bash 2006. Another very good show. I don't really recommend checking the show out. Maybe... Yeah, I don't really recommend checking any of these matches out because this is a forgettable show, in my opinion. I guess if there's one match, maybe check out the opener. Maybe check out the Kennedy and Batista, and then the main event here. And then the Gregory Helms and Matt Hardy, that's not bad. But everything else on this card is really forgettable. And like I said, I don't know if, WWE had like a stigma with the Great American Bash, I mean, yeah, it was great for WCW. I mean, very historical pay-per-view. But, like, these W versions of Great American Bash were not that good. Which, I got a couple more of these Juggernaut Retro Reviews to do for a Great American Bash. So I'm going to do the 07 one here. And then I got the 2008. And then, of course, I'll be doing some more of these retrospective pay-per-view reviews. Maybe for Money to Bank. Maybe I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, do everything I said at the beginning of the video. Follow me on my social media platforms. Go follow me and then subscribe. Hit that subscribe button here. And also subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. The only podcast that's always an Instant Classic. And next week, I got quite a bit of videos coming up. Like I said, some more of these retro pay-per-view reviews. Got some pay-per-view predictions next week for Slammiversary is next week. And then Money Bank is also next week. So 2 pay-per-view predictions. And, of course, pay-per-view reviews next week. And then, I'll see what else I got coming up here, though. But yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Keep on the lookout for more videos and stuff. And this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. So peace out.